Hey guys, welcome to another video. This one is on the BMW X1. This is the 23i M Sport variant, which means it's got all of the M Sport kit on the outside, on the inside. In this video, I'm going to take you out for a bit of a drive. We're going to talk about its styling, which as you can see, is pretty incredible. It's like a baby X3, but the dimensions on this car, BMW have absolutely nailed. And I genuinely think that the BMW X1 is probably one of the best compact SUVs you can buy out there, not just for looks, but for interior, tech, and all sorts. So let's jump in the car, let's go for a drive. Now the seats themselves they're spot on. They're really spot on. They are half Alcantara, half leather, and they are really nice, really comfortable, really good design on them. But as a driver, it feels great. I feel really well hugged, really comfortable. And that'll be quite important because this does have adaptive suspension, but it's not the adaptive suspension that you're familiar with. It'll be good for some, it might not be as good for others. And we'll touch on that now. We're gonna go for a drive. Now, directly off the bat, the first thing that I love about this, and bear in mind, you know, if you put it into kind of the personal mode, the steering when it's in, it's so light. Honestly, like I can tell, look, one finger I can turn the wheel. It's just exquisite. It's got a lovely, the best way to describe this car for me, it is a great do-all car, you know, for whether you've got family, whether you're an individual. I think it's great. Let's put it into sport and we'll go straight for the sport mode with boost. We're in. So acceleration in this thing. 0 to 62 miles per hour in 7.1 seconds. It runs 218 brake horsepower from its 2-litre petrol engine. And now, whilst performance is never going to be the be-all and end-all in something like this, it's definitely got enough punch for you to get yourself out of many sticky situations. And bear in mind that this is a compact SUV, you would expect there's going to be quite a bit of roll on the car, but there isn't. In fact, there isn't much at all. Attacking the corner, handling is very good, but it comes at a little bit of a cost because this car has got adaptive suspension, but it's automatic, so it decides for you when it's going to pump its adaptive suspension in or not. So when you're driving at lower speeds and it thinks that you're on more bumpy roads, it will kick in the comfort element of the suspension. It is very nippy. It's got a great little feel to it. The sound, you know, it does sound like it's struggling a little bit, but hey, it's only a 2-litre, it's only 218 brake horsepower. If you want the performance variant of this, so bear in mind this is the M Sport version, but you get the plug-in hybrid models, which will do quicker 0 to 60. I mean, one of them will even do 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds, which is pretty awesome. But for me, I quite like this. I think as a petrol, it's great. 50,000 with it all specced up, it's quite a bit of money, but I think you get an awful lot of car. And as I touched earlier on, it's kind of the one car fits all. You want to get down to the skip? No problem. You want to take the kids on a school run? No problem. You want to travel a long distance? No problem. You want to go to IKEA? No problem. The list goes on and on. Do you want to have fun with it? Yes, you can, because it is a fun little car. You know, you've got the manual paddles. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So just touching on comfort again a little bit more. For me, the comfort factor, I think it is very comfortable. The seats are just so good. They're extremely comfortable. They're very inviting. The interior cabin is a very inviting place to be. I just think that if you're going to buy one of these and you know you're really after comfort, test drive one first and drive it on some kind of British B roads, because on a motorway you're going to be fine. Most cars will be fine on a motorway, but I would say it's a little bit stiff in my opinion, but I like that because I like to throw cars around corners. But for you with your family, you may not necessarily like that, so test that out. So then, if we're going to take a look at the interior of the BMW X1, I think this is absolutely lovely, and there's some small little design cues in here which make this little car mental. I think we should start with the rear space because there's an awful lot of it. It's quite deceiving, and I think now that we've got a more boxy shape, a more boxy roofline, it gives much more kind of passenger headroom at the back. And actually, considering the fact that this is much larger, I guess, than the old car, it's about 6 centimeters, I believe, shorter than the old X3. Now, for me, the original X1, it didn't look anywhere near as good as this, especially from an interior perspective. I mean, this is a very, very nice design. You've got these kind of metal accents here on the steering wheel with holes, and I think that looks really, really nice. The steering wheel itself feels good. The cool thing here as well, I don't know if you can see this, you get a boost button. So if I was to hold it down, you'll see, I need to be in gear for that. Put it in gear, hold boost, and it gives you 10 seconds worth of boost. So it gives you a little bit more power, which is lovely. As I move swiftly over to the center tunnel. Now this is a very, very good design. We've got a nice little compartment here for storage, but they've made it a floating storage. So you've got so much space to store things in here, which is great. The other thing that I really like is we've got wireless charging, but in a vertical position, which is, it's genius. I mean, I don't know why more people don't do it. My only challenge with this is that when you're kind of driving it pretty heavy around corners, the phone does slide around a little bit, but that's okay. You can see here, we've got the big curved monitor with the iDrive operating system 8, and again on the left you've got the sat nav, on the right you've got your kind of your rev counters and your gauges. Now down here you can click on my modes and it will give you the option to choose from either personal, sport or efficient, and each time you do that the sensor changes as well. So if I go to sport, we get this. If I go to the efficiency mode, it will change it to this. So all very, very nice. And again, similar across all the ranges, but born from the iX, it's made its way into all of the other cars. Now, volume controls are here, which is very welcome because we do have a massive lack of buttons. On the screen, really, you only get max and rear for your demisting. Everything else is controlled via the center console. Now, this center console isn't as big as something like on the X, on the 340i I've driven, so it's a little bit more compact, but it does look very nice. But you do have to faff around a little bit and touch the screen here, so the lack of buttons could be a little bit frustrating for some. However, if I go back to the nav, the other bit that I like as well, you know, your cup holders here, you've got 2 USB-C charging. We get a Harman Kardon sound system with some very, very nice stitching down here, as well as this. I'm not entirely sure what this is for. I think it's just to try and make it look different, but it looks okay. I really do like this. And of course, with this car, we get the panoramic sunroof. Now, in terms of the pricing, I've got the spec sheet here for you. This car here comes in at 42,000 base. However, this specific car is 48,900. And you can see from the top there, the kind of options package is 6.5 grand's worth of options. The pan roof is £1,000. The sliding rear seats is 300. The tech pack itself is 1,500, but it comes with all the stuff that you would want. I won't say it, or you can pause the video if you want to. The comfort pack and the M Sport Pro pack. I think the M Sport Pro pack is definitely cool because it gives you kind of the shadow line. It's like the nice gloss black pack, gloss black grille, etc. So it does look really, really nice. I do like that little boost button. I think it's quite cool. So with the 2-litre petrol and 218 brake horsepower, what kind of MPG are you going to be looking at? Well, you'll be looking at 42 miles to the gallon combined. I think if we go again and look at the exterior styling of this thing, it looks so good. The kind of boxy shape really, really works for me. And I love the kind of haunch in the middle of the bonnet. It kind of definitely gives it some kind of M car characteristics without it being, you know, M car running costs. So then, in summary, what do we think? The BMW X1 23i M Sport. Other than it being a bit of a tongue tangler in its name, I really like this car. I didn't think I'd like this car as much as I did. I think seeing one in the flesh is going to be much more visually pleasing than seeing it on this video, but I mean, surely you guys think this looks incredible. It's such a good looking car. It drives really, really well. The suspension is just one thing to be mindful of. It is a little bit stiff, but I like that. It's just a wicked, wicked thing. I am a fan. So yeah, I would absolutely have one of these without doubt. And you should too. So if you like the video, smash a like. Comments are always welcome, and I'll see you all on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye bye.